Hello everyone, welcome to this year's SAP TechEd. My name is Beneeta George and I'm the product manager for SAP Build Process Automation. And together with me we have my colleague Stefan. So Stefan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course. Hello everyone, and it's a great pleasure to have you here with us today here at SAP TechEd 2023. I'm really looking forward to the presentation by my colleague Beneeta, and actually I also would like to let you know that at the end of the session we also would have some time for your questions. I'm also looking forward to this. Having said this, hand over to you, Beneeta. Stage is yours.
Thanks, Stefan. So we are joining live from the Heidelberg studio in Germany, and we'd also like to know where you're dialing in from. So without further ado, let's begin. So welcome to the session again. And in this session, we are going to talk about how you can accelerate your process automation journey with the central entry point like SAP Start, together with SAP Task Center and SAP Build Process Automation. Okay, so we have SAP Business Technology Platform. Most of you are familiar with this term. So just a quick recap. So SAP Business Technology Platform is the foundation of the intelligent and sustainable enterprise. And how we do it is by combining the application development and automation, integration, data and analytics, the AI capabilities in one unified environment. Moving on. So a little bit of context to SAP BTP. So our goal is to enable the users to create end-to-end business processes and enhance their experience. So here you can see that there are some of the AI-powered business processes like recruit to retire, source to pay, design to operate, and lead to cash. But the main focus of today's session are the suite qualities. You can see 7 of the suite qualities here, but we'd like to highlight seamless user experience and one workflow inbox in this session. Moving on. So the seamless user experience, the suite quality that you see here, the motivation behind it. So at SAP, we are looking at all the participating solution areas and their applications to provide them a consistent user experience. How can we do it? We can do it by providing a harmonized user experience interface. And let's say, for example, let's take this use case. So there are business tasks which spans across several products or applications. So me as a user would like to navigate through several apps, and how do I do it? So I need a central entry point, and SAP provides just that. So you see on the right-hand side there are several central entry points available for you. There's SAP Start, there's SAP Build Work Zone Standard Edition, and SAP Build Work Zone Advanced Edition. All of these central entry points are available on your mobile devices, Android and the iOS devices via SAP Mobile Start. A little bit of context just explanation about these central entry points. What is SAP Start? So this is the default central entry point, focusing on business cloud applications across SAP product portfolio. And you have SAP Build Work Zone Standard Edition, which was previously called SAP Launchpad Service. So it also helps integrate your cloud and business SAP solutions. And it also helps to integrate several applications. You can also customize your application, personalize it, and so on. And then you have the SAP Build Work Zone Advanced Edition. So in addition to the standard offering, you also have some additional capabilities with this Advanced Edition, like you can have content management, web content, and you can also integrate with third-party applications as well. So moving on. So this is the suite quality one workflow inbox, the second one. So you might already have heard about SAP Task Center product. Why did we come up with this suite quality? So let's assume that I am a manager or a cross-functional user, and I would like to approve certain tasks by logging into several inboxes. Let's say I have SAP Concur inbox, SAP My Inbox, SAP Fieldglass inbox, and so on. So for me, it's time-consuming and not completely efficient to log into all of these inboxes individually in order to approve. So as a solution to all of this, we have introduced SAP Task Center, which is a one unified inbox or centralized inbox for all your workflows or tasks. So let's see SAP Start and SAP Task Center in action. I would like to show you a live demo. Bringing the screen right up. Just a second. So this is SAP Start homepage, as you can see here, and it also uses the suite qualities like one workflow inbox and seamless user experience, like I mentioned earlier. But one of the most important suite qualities that it uses is the consistent security and identity management, meaning you can navigate to several applications via the single sign-on using this suite quality. And SAP Start has to-dos, as you can see. You have insights and so on. And what I would like to show you is are these tasks here. So these are the tasks coming in from SAP Task Center because it has been integrated with SAP Task Center. And how it does it is SAP Start pulls all the workflows and makes it available under to-dos as action cards. So let's look at this task. For example, this is an expense report approval task coming in from Task Center. You see all of the details here. I can also click on it and see further details like what is this task about, the requester, the amount claimed, and so on. You can also view the task from the source system or where it emerged from. So you can view it in SAP Concur in this case. I can choose to approve or send back this request. Or you can also see that there's an option to open these tasks via SAP Task Center. So again, this is the suite quality which is introduced here, single sign-on, so you don't have to log in with your credentials each time. You can use the SSO single sign-on functionality. Now you see the same task here as well. If I open it, I see all of the details here and also the expense report and the total amount claimed and so on. So I can choose to approve or send back this request via Task Center, but our focus is mainly on SAP Start. So let me go back to SAP Start. And then I choose to approve. As an approver, I choose to approve my task. And I say approved. And now it says the response has been sent. So the task should disappear from SAP Task Center, also from SAP Concur, and from SAP Start. So this is SAP Task Center and SAP Start in action. Going back to the demo.
Maybe I just give one comment. I think it's amazing because the end user, at the end of the day, they could not care less where the tasks are coming from which provider. And for them, everything looks the same. Really a seamless user experience. I really like this very much.
Yeah, thanks, Stefan. Yeah, I think so too. Customer is in focus and customer satisfaction comes as a priority for us. And yeah. Good. So let's move on to the second part of the presentation, SAP Build. So what is SAP Build? It's a low-code offering from SAP. It focuses on accelerating your automations and development, and it's built on SAP Business Technology Platform. So you see this image here. So these are the product pillars of SAP Build. So you see SAP Build Apps, which was previously called SAP AppGyver. So with this, you can create beautiful apps, web and mobile enterprise applications. And then you have SAP Build Process Automation, which powers your automation and automation with respect to workflows and tasks. With drag and drop functionality, you also have the artificial intelligence or AI capabilities here. And then you have SAP Build work zone, which includes the capabilities of SAP Work Zone and SAP Launchpad service. So you can see that users can have an engaging experience here and also build business sites here. What is it providing altogether? You can build visually, as you can see, integrate smoothly, and also collaborate in Fusion teams. So this is SAP Build in a nutshell. Now let's focus on one of the pillars of SAP Build, that's SAP Build Process Automation. So SAP Build Process Automation has some key capabilities like process and workflows. So here you can create and manage processes and workflows in the process builder. You can also create forms using the form editor, either directly in the lobby or while creating the process. You also have task automation, previously called robotic process automation. So you can also, based on the complexity of the automation, you can have completely no-code experience, or if your automation requires a JavaScript, for example, you can have a low-code experience as well. And then the unified Launchpad and Task Center, which I discussed earlier, to have a unified centralized inbox. And then you have the business decision and rule to codify the policies and the business rules for repetitive processes. You also have the pre-built content. I'll come to that in a bit in the next slides. You have the document understanding, which is the embedded AI capability, document understanding. So it uses the the machine learning models to extract the data from, say, structured or unstructured data sources, and this data can be then used in your processes, or it can also be used in business system as input, say as a template, for example. And then you have the process visibility and flexibility, so you can build various dashboards and visualize it based on your processes. You also have integration with SAP Build Process or SAP Signavio. So if you have to accelerate your business transformation journey, this can be done here. You also have SAP Build Process Automation integrated with Qualtrics Experience Management, so you can include surveys in your processes. And if you would like to include a low-code application or a pro-code tools and technologies, you can also do that in the unified lobby. You can include that in the project as well. So quite interesting capabilities that SAP Build Process Automation provides. Now let's look at a quick demo of SAP Build Process Automation in action, so with SAP Ariba solution scenario. So to give you a brief overview of what it is, so I'm going to, me as a requester, I'm going to create or I'm going to order for an item in SAP Ariba. This would then create a purchase requisition. I have already created an automation in SAP Build Process Automation, and that will be triggered. So this automation would then be responsible to pull all the purchase requisitions from Ariba and make it available in the central entry point, which is SAP Start, and also my inbox. So let's see that in action. So here I have SAP Ariba site, and then I can order for a notebook. Let's say I would like to order for a laptop, Lenovo laptop. I add it to the cart, and I proceed to checkout. Some input needed. And rest of the options are not mandatory. I also give maybe this detail. And another thing is, while designing or configuring the process, we also set it such that if an item is worth, if an item's worth is about 200 euros, then an approval is required. If not, then an approval is not required. So in this case, it is required because it's exceeding 200 euros. So I can also have a look at the approval flow here, which says external approval is required. And then I submit. I can view my requisition here. So there's PR59, which is my purchase requisition number. So now I go back to my lobby, and like I mentioned, the automation is already created, so this needs to be done by the administrator at your organization. And then I go to the triggers, and then I have the particular trigger which would then trigger the particular automation to bring in all the purchase requisitions. So I have all the details here of the automations and so on. And I run it now. So this should ideally pull all the purchase requisitions from Ariba. Okay. Now let's go to SAP Start. So here I should be able to see the particular purchase requisition in SAP Start. So if I go to the application, this would lead to the My Inbox, and then you see the purchase requisition. So as an approver, I can look at all the details, and I say, okay, everything is fine, and I approve changes. And then if I go back to Ariba, you see that the status would change to ordering in a bit, so it would take some time. Yeah. So it says it's ordering, and the tasks from the task from SAP Start would also ideally disappear because it has been processed already. Yeah, so it's gone. So this is how the SAP build process automation works together with SAP Start. Okay, let's go back to our presentation quickly.
So what we have done here is actually an extension of a standard process, right?
Yes, that's right.
Cool.
Yeah. So it comes to use when you're an approver and you do not have time, and then you can see everything in one central entry point. Yeah. This is one of the key capabilities of SAP Build Process Automation, which is the content package. So we have around 340 pre-built content packages available for you to accelerate your process automation journey. You can have a look at it. The link is available, and all the details are here on the SAP Business Accelerate Hub. Moving on. So that's previously in the demo, I showed one of the use cases, but we have more end-to-end use cases available for you. We have lead to cash, hire to retire, design to operate, and source to pay. So what it does, what's the business value here? So manual or repetitive tasks can be automated. You can also extend and adapt certain applications to meet your business needs and so on. So yeah, like it says, get inspired and start today. And yeah, the key the final takeaway for SAP Build Process Automation is automate visually. So our aim or our goal has always been that you enable the business users also to enable them to automate certain tasks and workflows. This can be done easily by the drag and drop and AI capabilities. You can also integrate seamlessly, meaning you have shorter project times because you have the pre-built content available for you in the form of workflows or bots and connectors. And you can also collaborate securely because you enable the fusion team here, meaning a combination of developers and business users. They can come together and solve certain issues faster and more efficiently. So these are the key takeaways. And with that, we come to the end of the session. So if you would like to know more about enterprise automation, there are several sessions planned for you at TechEd this year, and you can have a look. And if you would like to upskill and engage on the application development and on automation, please have a look here. You have the links. Yeah, and now that we have come to the end of the presentation, let's look at some of the questions from the users, customers.
Live Q&A.
So let's see, after the session, what we have here. So I guess one interesting question here, and thanks for that, is what is the difference between workflow management and process automation? I like this question very much because it indicates also, or the answer indicates the evolution, what we have done. So actually we have started in the past with a workflow service, which evolved to workflow management with more capabilities. For example, also introducing business rules, and then it evolved to SAP built process automation. In fact, adding capabilities for robotic process automation, as you have pointed out, or even process visibility, and really combine this together with AI capabilities in one single solution. So it doesn't matter whatever you want to do within your automation projects, everything is there, the capabilities are there, and you have the freedom to choose.
Right, perfect, yeah.
So there's another one. How is SAP Task Center different from SAP Workzone?
Yeah, that's a good question. So SAP Task Center is mainly focusing on user tasks. So it's one central place for all your tasks, so to say. And SAP Workzone is more user-based and user-focused with your to-dos and certain action cards, and you can do much more with it. Like I mentioned earlier, you can integrate with different applications. You can personalize your applications and the UI and so on. You can, with the advanced edition, you can also integrate with third-party applications. SAP Task Center is not far from there, but it focuses on providing a centralized inbox or a unified inbox for the customers. Yeah.
And probably related to this, so what is the main difference between SAP Start and Task Center?
Yeah.
Where could our attendees find more information about this?
Yeah, we will share details about it soon, but SAP Task Center, like I mentioned, is a centralized, a unified inbox, whereas SAP Start is a central entry point, is a default central entry point provided by SAP for the users, where you have to-dos, you have insights, and so on. Whereas you can see you have an overview about, as a user, you have an overview about your overall, if you want to look at the processes, or if you want to look at certain applications that's connected, or certain to-dos as action cards, you can view them. Whereas in Task Center, it's more of approvals. Yeah.
Okay. So there's another interesting question. Is SAP Build integrated with SAP Signavio for process mapping and design? I mean, you have alluded to it in your presentation that there are some kind of integration points. Actually, there are several of them. On the one hand side, once you have done your, let's say, analysis within SAP Signavio, it could also be that there are some improvements necessary. And one of the improvements could actually be that you get a recommendation of the pre-built content, so like the content which you have used also in the use case for the Ariba purchasing approval process. So this is one thing. The other thing could also be, imagine you have done some kind of more detailed analysis with process mining, and then probably one solution to the main problem, to block, for example, or to unblock some sales orders there, could be to trigger such an approval process as we have just seen within SAP Build Process Automation. And there you have now the possibility to have this action trigger within the analysis of the process, and which is then triggering the process within Build Process Automation. So we have time for one last question. Which one want to choose? This one is interesting. Can those tasks show up in order according to the task priorities?
Yes. I mean, if this is more focused on SAP Task Center, also, yes, you can show it based on the priority. You can filter for it. If the question is based on the central entry point SAP Start, yes, based on your priorities, then you have the action cards sorted based on what you need to look at in the first place. Yeah.
I think there was one last question. Can we integrate with automation anywhere? Yes. Short answer, it's possible. Please also have a look at the content catalog. There are actually some content packages available for automation anywhere in combination with Build Process Automation.
Good.
And having said this, I guess we are at the end of the session. Thanks so much,
Yeah.
Beneeta.
Thank you, Stefan.
It has been a pleasure. And we wish all of you a great TechEd, great time, and get more information about enterprise automation, the topics we have provided to you today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you from my side as well. Take care. Bye-bye.